Hi, welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. A GCS Elite saber is my best work. Unfortunately, because of the busyness of running this place, I'm only able to do maybe one of them a year. So, today is a very special day because I'm pleased to present my latest GCS Elite saber, the Primal Krayt. Now, you might remember a saber I did a number of years ago called the Krayt Fang, and this has got some similar design cues. Of course, you've got the neolithic artwork, the almost cave drawing-esque etching, the synthetic yet very realistic Krayt Dragon tooth. It includes a spherical quartz Krayt Dragon Pearl crystal, and of course the Crystal Focus version 10. And some of you might recognize my Pearl of Krayt Price sound font, which was designed with this saber in mind. So it's a very well balanced saber, albeit longer and pointier with these guards. I wanted it to be ancient and unique and mean looking. I wanted it to be perfect. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Because of all the intricacies of this saber, I'm certifying it for light dueling only, and this video is going to serve as the operating instructions for the new owner. So let's take a closer look. Okay, a couple things you may notice right off the bat with this saber is, of course, it's got a D-ring style clip attachment to hang it on your belt, and of course it will hang with the claws facing away from your expensive costume. The claw is designed so that it just fits the hand perfectly. And the buttons are both trigger style, so you can reach them just by positioning your finger around the guard. The saber does not have an exposed recharge port or kill key, or an OLED screen, although that's on the internals. We'll get there in a minute. The only thing really operable on the outside is the blade retention screw. Now there are several exposed screws and that hold in the claws, and I don't permit under warranty for those screws to be touched in any way. Everything is rock solid and tight, and you should never need to touch those screws. They're Loctited in there. The only thing you really need to operate is the blade retention screw, of course. So you release that, and you can remove the custom pixel blade plug that comes with the saber. You can insert a blade. Let's see if I can actually clear some space. The blade goes like that, inserts in, tightens with the blade retention screw so it doesn't fly out. Of course, these are my NPX2 pixel blades. The white button is the activation. Oh, of course, it's in sleep mode. If it goes into sleep mode, you have to press long, for about that long, and it'll wake up. And then once it's awake, you can activate the saber, turn it on and off with that button. The black button is the auxiliary button. Blaster, lock up, and then the special sounds as well as, you can activate the aux button while you're clashing or swinging and you get the kind of the Krayt sounds. If you tap both buttons at the same time, you hear that it goes into spectrum mode, and of course now I can rotate the saber. You get into spectrum and you can rotate through and select whatever color you want. And then if you hold the button again, now you're in blade profile, so you can toggle through all the different blade profiles that I have custom tuned into the Crystal Focus version 10. Of course, you can always do your own, but there's a whole bunch in there. You do different things. Those look like, and of course, tap that to lock that in, or you could hold it to go back into the color profiles. Now, the saber will go into sleep and deep sleep, just leaving it for battery preservation, so you don't need to do a kill key or anything like that. Of course, if you remove the blade and you want to get access to the internals of the saber, it simply unscrews from the middle. So you want to slowly and carefully work over a nice flat surface. You basically unscrew the back half of the saber, and it goes into display mode. And you can see, and I'll give you a close-up in a minute, of the Krayt Pearl that will glow with the same blade color as the blade. And if you fire up the saber and then go into spectrum mode, you'll see that the color of the crystal changes with the blade color. I'll go back to that yellow one that I like. Where is that? Right about there. And of course you've got an OLED screen. So it plays different animations and things like that when the saber's active. When the saber's idle, you can tap the auxiliary button and you can go through a number of things. Blade, or the power level meter, different animations, things like that that will play while it's going there. And of course you've got speaker here. You don't want to touch that too much. That's very secure while it's in the saber, but you don't want to play around with the speaker. So it's nice and solid. Now, to get access to the SD card on this saber, oh, of course, before I get there, you'll see here is a recharge port. Now, the saber will come with a couple of different kill keys. Now, a kill key is something that you just place in the recharge port. This is where you plug in the saber to charge it. It will be a supplied charger. The kill key essentially kills the saber. So if I plug it in, you'll see that the light goes out. There's no power to the saber. This is how it's safe to transport or long-term storage. These kill keys are recessed, so they're inside the saber, so you can close it back up again, and it will not operate because it has a kill key in it. That's how it will come. So when you undo the saber the first time, use your fingernails and you can pull out this little kill key. It's very small, so I'll include a second one in case you ever lose that. And if you ever do lose them, of course, you can reboot the saber by plugging it into a charger, even if it's not plugged into the wall, and unplugging it again, that will reboot the saber. So in display mode like this, if you want to get access to the SD card, you'll notice that there's a slotted screw there. So you need a slotted screwdriver. And it's a very special screw that I machined down to fit perfectly, so you don't want to lose it. I'll include a second one with the purchase of this saber. But as you notice, as I'm undoing the screw, the chassis is releasing. So I want to just gently keep going that. The screw will come out, and you can see this chassis is held in by the wires, so you don't want to pull it out too far. And you can, of course, get access to the SD card. I'm going to put the chassis back in for a second. I'll put the kill key in. You can remove the SD card without a kill key in, but it's a best practice. So the kill key in, power is turned off to the saber. Remove the chassis just at an angle, and I can press in. You can see the crystal focus. I can remove the SD card. It's right there. You can pop that into your computer, make changes, add a sound font, whatever. When you're ready, you pop it back in. And you can also plug in the USB cable here to the end of the crystal focus if you want to make changes that way. And when you're ready, you just make sure all the wires are clearing and nothing's hanging up, nothing's pinching, and everything just goes back together perfectly. Now getting the screw back in, of course, is difficult if you've got big hands. All you need to do is start the screw with your fingers. There you go. And then these are very gentle threads, so you might want to make sure that you never tighten this up too much. It only needs to be just tight enough, just gently snug to hold the chassis together. It's nice and snug in there. It's ready to go. I'll pull out the kill key. You can see the animation for boot up. I can slide that gently back into, and when I'm screwing up a saber like this, screwing it together, you want to make sure the threads never cross. So a good practice is you actually back it off until you feel it click. There, the thread's clicked. Now I go clockwise. You'll never cross your threads if you do that. And once the saber's tight, all the lines line up, everything's perfect, and it's ready to go. I wanted to provide some detail on the crystal chassis there. You can see all the detail that goes into the inside, and it's weathered brass, copper fittings inside of there. Of course, the OLED screen, you tap the aux button and you get different animations. You can go through until, whoops, you can get back to blank if you want. And of course, when you fire up the saber, then the crystal mirrors the blade, in this case it's pulsing. So that's this saber. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'm going to do something different with this saber that I've never done before. I'm going to be entertaining offers to purchase this saber over the next couple of weeks leading up to May the 4th be with you. I've got a very high price in mind for this saber. And if it doesn't sell before May the 4th be with you, then I will set a price and we'll do a raffle to purchase, which means people will be able to enter for free. A winner will be drawn. who will then get to purchase this saber at the set price. So you'll want to watch for that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please follow my channel, subscribe, and click that little bell icon if you want to see more of this kind of stuff that I produce. Thanks again for watching.